we are getting sponsored by drumroll, Audible. Audible is this app where you can read books from it. Like, listen, and it tells you the books. You see, I'm in 5th grade, and I don't like to read books. So Audible is really good because it just reads you it. It helps me sleep at night. Audible, you're good and you're the best. Thank you so much.
Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up, people? Therapy Without a Degree, chapter 115. What up, y'all? Joe Fucarino in the house. We're doing something a little different today. All right. Surprise, Phil. Surprise, Zain. Happy birthday, man. Wanted to dedicate an episode specifically just to him, right? So this is an episode of all, some of Zain's best moments. All right. There's a lot of good ones that we forgot, so make sure you go back to all previous episodes to go listen to, some Zain gems. But here is some of our favorite moments from Zain. Here are a few clips from chapter 91. Check on your strong friend.
Stage acting.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and I still do it, and I love it so much. And from there, I just wanted to keep trying new things, film, dance, all that. So,
and that's how I initially met you before. Tay, you might not know this, but in 2016, I shot with Alex, and that was a very interesting day because I learned so many things, like lighting wise and all that, and I was just like 2 years in of photography in general, and Alex was like the coolest model I had to deal with for that day because I was like stressing out. But yeah, ever since then, like we kept on working and just dropping like firework, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, I have a film," and that's what got me started into like really like filmmaking was Infliction, which you've probably seen the trailer for.
The first day we met,
right? Yeah. Started making movies.
And it changed everything.
And actually, I'm not surprised you don't know. I'm not surprised you know her, man. You know everybody. Yeah. This is the same as Zain over here, man.
Listen, man, it took time. Listen, don't worry, man. I'm trying to get to know the world right now, but I got what's that phrase they say? Like, for each hand you shake, it gets you closer to the president or something like that. Just not this year. Not this year. Definitely not this year. But yeah, like, so speaking of Infliction, what's going on with that?
Like, there's these people, like, they'll work with you for a certain amount of time, and then they'll say, you know what I really wanted to ask you? You want to go out? You want?
That was the punchline the entire time.
And I'm just like, I've been fooled this entire time. And
or
it sucks.
The stories that I hear is they finally get you there and whatnot. Everything's all cool, and then they try to do the photo shoot and chill.
Oh yeah.
And then you're just like, wait, what's going on? And yeah. I mean, granted, it's a growing thing, and I want to let everybody know, photographers who have a camera,
oh my God.
Stop. Just think of your models as a family member and just don't do it. Some of you might, but I'm just saying for the 99% of y'all, please don't do it. Just leave it alone. That's it. Because you're going to ruin your business in the future if you keep doing this. That's it.
But what gets me is there are people who are known by many people in the industry doing a lot of crap and, causing a lot of harm to models. People know about it, and because they work with an agency or this magazine, nothing happens past that point. But I'm just doing it now because, like, that's what I'm passionate about. And if that's not why you're in it, find something else.
I think that was very important, because if you don't love it, like, I deal with a lot of nonsense like every day in terms of like photography related stuff, but I love it. So I deal with like the crazy models doing this, or a photographer talking smack, or I would have a photographer would hit up my models that I've worked with and say, oh yeah, he sent me and this, that, and third, and it'd be creepy. And then these models come back to me and they say, oh, did you send blah, blah, this, that, and the third? I was like, no, I didn't. Now I have to do something about it and I put them on blast, and I don't tolerate that.
There's so much drama. There's so much drama in modeling and acting. And, like, I hate that. I don't want to be anywhere near it. That's why, like, I really found the importance of
Chapter 59. Are kids expensive?
You're going to remember it, but I think that good time that you're having with them, you know, you maybe spent like fucking $3,000. You probably could have spent like maybe $300 doing something way better.
But I think people get caught up in the moment, man. They're like, I'm going to give my child something I never had, which is to be spoiled. And that was what our parents were preventing us to becoming in the first place, was spoiled. And then we're like, I want my child to be spoiled. And you're like, damn, I should have spoiled my kid.
Yeah.
You see how that works? It's crazy. What we don't have, we want to give. And what we do get, we don't want to give.
No,
Right?
that usually does happen. Like, however you were raised, you're like, fuck, I didn't really do all that, so
Here are some clips from Chapter 94, Chemistry.
Listen, you think you don't have time to read books? How about try an audiobook?
Word, yo. Like, there's no excuses no more. No more excuses. I heard something great on the Secret to Success podcast. They basically were like, yo, if you ain't doing shit or if you ain't successful, information is no longer the problem. The problem is you.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But, like, because there's all the information out there. So if you have a problem with being successful or something like that, the problem is you.
Yeah, just read a book on how to be more successful, but it really starts with the habit.
For
and I
sure.
had really bad habits, which I've been slowly correcting, actually. Like food habits, I took care of that problem. So then I felt better. So now I was like, nah, something else is missing. And it was just like my habits, because there was things that like trickled me off, like anger issues. So you have the cue, you have the routine, and then the reward. So like, say I saw something that would piss me off or something like that, then it would cause me to the habit. The routine is for me to argue and be defensive, and then the actual reward is a quick stimulation of just letting out all your anger. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I see that more of like it's more so a punishment, but that's considered the reward and whatnot. It's like you're feeling afterwards and whatnot, just letting it out.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You have the trigger, and then you have the attempted alleviation of that trigger, but then that obviously results in that feel good. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I had that bad relationship with part 1. Okay, but let's get back to you. What do you define chemistry as?
Well, other than the actual chemistry component, which my brain is always in science mode, I would say, like, you ever have, instead of relating it to like girlfriend boyfriend like relationship, I'd consider like friends, right? You ever have that one friend that's just like you weren't friends with them before, and then all of a sudden you guys start hanging out, you have things in common and whatnot, and you guys just click, and that was just like the first day. You know what I'm saying? That's because, I mean, you both had some similar things in common, and you both had like a similar cadence. You guys respected each other.
But I'm not talking about a friendship.
No.
But the foundation is
But
friendship.
but the foundation is friendship.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly.
because some people they mislead themselves by thinking that like sex is like a common ground and it's considered chemistry. Oh, we had great sex, so it's chemistry. That's not chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
That's one aspect.
That's one
I
aspect.
wasn't, at first, I was like, maybe they're confusing attraction with chemistry.
That's what I'm saying.
But then I like went back and forth with this person, and they were like, no.
Hey, listen, you think you don't have time to read books? How about try an audiobook?
Word, yo. Like, there's no excuses no more. No more excuses. I heard something great on the Secret to Success podcast. They basically were like, yo, if you ain't doing shit or if you ain't successful, information is no longer the problem. The problem is you.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
But, like, because there's all the information out there. So if you have a problem with being successful or something like that, the problem is you.
Yeah, just read a book on how to be more successful, but it really starts with the habit. And I had really bad habits, which I've been slowly correcting, actually. Like food habits, I took care of that problem. So then I felt better. So now I was like, nah, something else is missing. And it was just like my habits, because there was things that like trickled me off, like anger issues. So you have the cue, you have the routine, and then the reward. So like, say I saw something that would piss me off or something like that, then it would cause me to the habit. The routine is for me to argue and be defensive, and then the actual reward is a quick stimulation of just letting out all your anger. You know what I'm saying? Granted, I see that more of like it's more so a punishment, but that's considered the reward and whatnot. It's like you're feeling afterwards and whatnot, just letting it out.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
You have the trigger, and then you have the attempted alleviation of that trigger, but then that obviously results in that feel good. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. I had that bad relationship with food where I would be like, oh, man, I'm like really upset right now, and I would go to food, whether it be sweets or
see, the food triggered.
No, well, even if it was eating something quote unquote healthy but overeating it, like it doesn't matter if it's healthy if you're overeating it, you know.
Chapter 61, One Night Standing. What do you think about one night stands?
Be and you're like, yeah, let's let it be it. That's cool. So you make that decision right there and then call it a day. And usually all that just sounds like it's been nice. When you hear that, that's usually the indication that this shit ain't ever happening again.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
but if they say, you know, how far do you live after, that means that there is a possibility that she may want her back blown again. I'm just saying.
You gotta do what you gotta do, yo. Zane's all about blowing backs out. He used that phrase a lot.
We out here chiropractic.
We are. Jesus. Now.
Chapter 82, Transgender Triangle.
But she got like the little bag, like a garbage bag. So I'm like, you know, she got her shit in there, like, you know, little stuff. So we get in the car, she puts the bags on the seat or whatever. So we start driving, and I start smelling something. And
I already know where this is going.
oh,
God.
So then I even asked her, so then I'm just like, I'm making sure that maybe I'm passing somewhere to stink. So then I hear her, she's like in the back, she's like, oh shit, stinks. So then I said, what is in the back? She thought it was my garbage.
Hold up.
So I'm like,
hold up. Yo, Tone, hold up.
I was like,
yo, she had garbage? Oh, my Lord.
I'm like, who brings garbage from their house inside of a taxi? 2 big white bags of garbage inside of a taxi. Who does that?
You want to know what's funny, bro?
Oh, my God.
I asked you because, I had the same shit happen to me.
Oh, hell no.
But not as bad. Not as bad, though.
Nah.
She told me straight, when she got in the car, she's like, I'm bringing my garbage. She's like, they don't, my complex doesn't let me throw it out right here.
I know what it is because, like, when I was living down south, I found out you have to pay for garbage. And she lived in, like, a house.
It's trash.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Then you're going to get the 2-piece, and then nobody want to get that.
Nah, exactly. Nobody wants to get that. I'm going to do something real quick. And while I do that, I actually want Zain. I want you to give these fellas, because, there's a lot of Zain fans, right now and shit. So I want you to give your Zain fans some tips. All right, some cinematography tips or some photography tips. Just 3.
So we just tipping out
right now. I want 3 tips, man. You gotta help the people, bro. You popping in these streets. You're making really good content, and I guarantee there's like a miniature Zain right now listening. That probably, he needs some tips, man. Help him out.
He or she.
Yeah, he or she.
So I'm gonna give y'all like 2 gems. One of them being this, know your value as a person and know the value of other people. That's still one tip, but know yourself and know the value of other people. Just because you may treat yourself like garbage or trash and whatnot doesn't mean you should reflect that on other people. Like, you better treat them with some respect. Like, if you don't have respect for yourself, you go work on that. But you better have respect for other people. It doesn't matter what job they do. You show respect for that. Everybody's working. Everybody's doing what they need to do. Show them respect. Like, I say hi to everybody. I talk to everybody. I don't care what position you are. I'm going to say hello to you because as a human being, you got to respect. And that goes a long way in business.
because people see that. If you just talk to them like, oh, you a prospect, you a client, and you know, you got money, and I'm gonna con you into getting it, or just like you treat them like a money, just some money bag, then that's gonna show off, and you're not gonna. That's it. You're not being humane to that person, because they might want you, but they might not be able to pay. So my next tip is this: be patient. Be patient with the people that you are potentially going to work with, because you never know that they might be in some crazy emotional situation or something to that, them holding back on the money that you're about to receive for them. So you just tell them, listen, whenever you're ready, take your time. You know, we'll stay in contact. Let's talk about your vision in the meantime. And then when you're ready, let's go forward and let's execute this plan. And then you create a payment plan, because, you know, everybody got to get paid for their time. Like, here's a deposit, you know, drop a deposit when you're ready. And then we'll do an installment of this, and we'll put that in the contract. That way there's no, you know, confusion down the line, because what ends up happening is there's a thin line between integrity. And when that happens, you're gonna be, oh, he said this, or remember that time, blah blah, or I wasn't feeling like this at the time, or my mind was another place. No, you write that down on paper. Everything is set in stone, hands down. You get a copy, they get a copy. That's it, and just keep it like that. Keep it simple, and then you'll get the bag. You get what you need, and that's it. Dropping ball.
That was all 3 tips, right?
Chapter 96, Men in Black, New York City edition.
Was that
that
a
a
movie?
No.
Oh,
You almost saw the end of the world, bro.
Oh
You
my
were
God.
there.
Oh yeah. I was there, and then people, I don't know if they're gonna listen to this podcast, but I don't want to be disappearing in my Men in Black and whatnot. But yeah, I was driving, and I just finished like meeting up with my friends because we were just shooting in the area, and as I'm driving,
Just light plug, yo. Just
right?
like-
And as I'm driving on what you call it, in Edgewater, for some reason it just looked like it was daytime. It just looked like this is daytime. I thought I was tripping balls. I was driving. I know I'm not losing my mind. I thought it was a light show coming from a movie theater, because I was just driving from a movie theater. I'm like, okay, it's not
you
that.
felt like you walked into the Wizard of Oz or something.
Exactly. I'm like, I'm in like another dimension. And the next thing I know, I was like, I'm not crazy. So I literally pulled over.
You were on River? You were on Boulevard East.
Yeah, I pulled over next to the water, and then I see people with their phones out, and I'm like, hey guys, you see this? I know I'm not the only one that's seeing this. And the sky is blue and it's pulsating. Like, I don't care what fire or transformer is making the entire sky. Not even Rockefeller Center or Times Square does that.
Where are we talking? From what part of the city to what part of the city?
Bro, it looked like it was wide. I can't even,
Like, you think from like lower to like Midtown?
yes. It was much wider.
Wider than that?
Yes. I'm like, so how
you
can
think-
a little,
Like Brooklyn to like fucking.
yes,
Because
it was all the
I haven't
way,
even looked really at social media. I've been so busy.
it was, if you seen it was just way too big to be just from one spot. And especially when they said a power plant in Astoria, like no one in Astoria has seen a power plant.
So what did you think? So wait,
I
instantly
was
someone
gonna say,
told.
so what is
Yeah,
your theory?
what did you
My
think?
theory?
Right? No,
What's
but
your theory?
before
Well, there's
that,
two theories. It could be Men in Black, then neutralizing everybody at the same time and saw some alien stuff, or two, like something was coming from the sky, because it looked like it was coming from the sky, not from the ground up. And yeah, and if it was a power plant, that means there's just contamination, radiation, if that. And you tell me there was no procedure to evacuate people? They didn't say that. People didn't lose their power, quote unquote, the power outage, until the morning. Not even that time period. So what are you saying right now? What it's coming from the sky.
I think.
I think it was aliens. I don't know. You tell me.
It could be. I
think it was aliens.
I just think that they were like just trying to find another way to like rip us off.
They made a wrong turn,
Yeah, and that was karma. No, that was karma. That was karma saying no. Keep your bills low.
right?
What do you think? What do you think, Matt?
You share bills and
So it's kind of like
responsibilities.
one.
So it's different, you know what I'm saying? Like, you really have to be super sneaky to get a gift when y'all live together.
Oh, that too. Yeah, no, it's tough. It
It's
is
different
tough.
when you don't live with them. You have a little bit more leeway to kind of move things around, or maybe the money wasn't there. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah.
Honestly, there's a lot of things that could go down, but I don't think anyone should feel some type of way if they don't get a gift, honestly. Because if the conversation wasn't there, that means that that person didn't say anything either. You know what I'm saying? It's not like,
It was mutual.
It's a mutual thing. Like, if you didn't say nothing, don't expect them to say something. You know what I'm saying? And then they may be like, I don't want to ask, and this, that, and third. So regardless, both parties are at fault because they didn't bring it up. It's not like, oh, I brought it up and you said nothing.
But should you bring it up though?
Yeah, you should bring it
for
up.
Sure.
It's a
We spoke
holiday.
about that. Yeah.
It's a holiday. You can't not bring it up. Like, what are you gonna just feel some type of way for 3 years?
No way.
You're like, oh, it's Christmas. Oh, you want to get gifts or not get gifts? If that conversation doesn't come up for 3 years, that's a problem.
It is it's because it's a simple, like I said in the beginning, communication. It's super simple, you know. I don't know. It's just a matter of saying, hey, like, what are we gonna do for Christmas this year?
No, I feel you. I'm just trying to be devil's advocate here with this one. Only I'm just curious because, okay, what if it's like, damn, like just to do it from your heart, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's a little bit more.
Press it. I'm listening.
No, it's all good with it. We'll have an edit point.
Yeah, if it doesn't, it's okay. No, then just leave it. It's not a big deal. We'll rock.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to play with it. I think Zain is good at that stuff, right?
Yeah, it's okay.
Maybe it would be Zane's homework.
Yeah.
I mean, no, right now, but just in general.
But yeah, pretty much what I'm talking about is just like sometimes you deal with people and they don't want to give out Christmas gifts. But I don't know who they are to each other though. I never seen them interact with each other. Usually I just base it on behavior and how they treat each other. So if I don't see them, like, you could tell me this, but then maybe the other person, maybe they're not deserving of a gift. What if they're an asshole? So
yeah, I don't give people I don't give people who are assholes gifts.
You know what I'm saying? You just maybe
I
you didn't
just don't
deserve
fucking
it.
care.
Okay, yeah. So do you think maybe she didn't deserve it?
Maybe she didn't deserve it. People like, oh, you didn't give me a gift. Did you deserve it? Did you deserve it? Sometimes like, oh, I didn't get a gift. Do I deserve it? Did I give them a gift? No. So maybe they felt some type of way. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the innocent one. Some people don't think that, or some people be getting gifts and they just don't appreciate it. You got me socks, well, maybe that's all I could afford.
Mm-hmm.
You ever think about that?
No, for sure. See, I think about that because I love getting socks. I got socks this year and a mug, and those are my two favorite gifts.
Hey, yeah, those are really, really bad.
Chapter 100, Black Cloud.
Like some type of warrior was in that shit. Like,
and they did that with a plant. They had two plants in case. Yeah.
We were talking about that. I think
a while ago.
You found it. You yell at the plant.
Yeah.
Like there was two. Right? It was,
one was like you say positive things to this plant. You just say only good things to the plant. And then the other one that was in glass as well. People say you say bad things. The one that was talked to the worst was starting to dwindle and get, just fade away. The other one was so lively and colorful and whatnot. I'm like, do you understand how crazy that is? They did the same thing also with water, but I think it was like some type of crystal. Right. And then the more negative energy was around, it became like all dark and whatnot. And then the positive energy. That's why some people are like into crystals like that, but that's what that does. Because the energy.
Remember the fruit yesterday you posted?
Oh yeah, the fruit. Like if you put like one rotted bad fruit next to other fruits,
fuck up the rest of the fruit.
Absolutely.
But then it's like that's why we like living on top of each other in the inner city is like, I'm not saying get out. I'm talking about I think you got to get out mentally. You can't physically just leave. If I got $1 million right now, the first thing I wouldn't get out. Like I'll leave for like 2 weeks and go see my son in Kansas. Mm-hmm. But I'm coming back and I'm going to rebuild something because I'm like, I'm big on really being able.
Chapter 74, Freeform Leader, featuring T.R. Kalange. Rest in peace to TR.
But like you right, man. You definitely do gotta check yourself. So it's like, I definitely try. You know what I mean? And I mess up. I ain't perfect. You know what I mean? But just that awareness of it is a good thing. A lot of people are in denial of themselves.
Yeah, and I think just acknowledging the fact that we are imperfect. I think that's what the world needs to see, because the fans, they see us like as this perfect being. Listen, I gotta pay bills just like everybody else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I gotta go to work. I have my job, so it's not like I just leave everything behind. And even if I do, I'm still a human being. You know what I'm saying?
True that.
Like, oh my God, Justin Bieber goes to, I don't know, Red Robin's or something like that. I want to go there too. Like, why are you going there? You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go there because they're going there. Mm-hmm. If you don't like burgers, why are you going?
They got bottomless fries, man.
Yeah, they do got bottomless fries.
Man, I might have to go.
Yeah, I know. Hashtag not ad. No ad.
Hey, y'all can sponsor us, all right? If y'all listening.
Yeah, right?
Y'all listening. Red Robin.
Heard like
he was spitting.
That was like, damn, you know what I mean? I checked them out on Spotify and everything. You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, like if you don't really have like, you know, don't really know how to use your tools and like have a special way of putting yourself out there, you know, it becomes difficult to get hurt. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like people stick to the internet way too much in terms of promoting themselves. Mm-hmm. I think people need to stop being afraid and stop hiding behind their phones and go out there and start talking to actual people. And not just, you know, performing. Like, talk to people like outreach programs or something like that. Mm-hmm. Do you guys have like a charity show? Mm-hmm. Do you guys need a performer? These are easy ways to get out there. Just to get more promotion, you know, for yourself. Some people are just like, I'm just gonna stay on my phone, start posting things and whatnot. As an artist, I'm like, how are people gonna connect with you?
Yeah,
try to find some things that you love doing. You know what I mean? Like, because I always try to tell people.
Chapter 69, The Side Zone.
You didn't answer the question.
Yeah, he still didn't answer the question. You see how he diverted?
Tay, answer the question, Tay.
What's the question one more time?
Do you want the main or you want the side? Do you want the fries or you want the burger, bro?
Okay. How long me and the main been together?
See, they're all time.
So many factors that
It does. There's
right?
factors. Mm-hmm. You can't just pick real quick.
There's layers to that.
You gotta get to know how's it cooked, what's being cooked on.
Chapter 73, Obese Child equals child abuse.
Assemblies here or there, maybe once a month or something like that. But honestly, I feel like they need to have this every day, because the teachers are so out of touch with society for the youth that it's kind of hard to find that kind of relation between student and teacher to kind of help them.
Relating to them.
Yeah, and if you don't relate, it's kind of hard to teach.
Of course.
You know, because you could easily redirect the conversation about like what they might be talking about Fortnite. Okay, then research what Fortnite is, see what that is, and try to kind of redirect that into your curriculum.
Well, what they need to do is they gotta start hiring younger teachers, and they gotta start doing something with the older ones.
Even the younger teachers don't do it. There's older teachers that are more hip to what's going on nowadays. So it's really just it doesn't matter if they're young or not. Honestly, it's really about the teachers doing some research outside of the curriculum that the state has given them.
Well, that no, you weren't.
Yes, I was. No, seriously, real talk. When my mom used to work a lot. I have the picture. I'll bring it.
Yeah, bring
so
it
my mom would send me to Queens when I was younger because she would work heavy on the weekends. So she obviously needed my family members. I would see them every weekend to take care of me. And let me tell you, I had cornmeal, which is like grits, the yellow grits and whatnot, and avocado, and then we eat lunch later on. But it was just like big meals that I was getting fat.
Yeah, exactly. You were just going nuts.
But it was pretty much like, to them, it was like, if you eat, you're healthy. You know what I'm saying? If you look thick at your age, it was healthy.
That's how that generation thought.
Yes.
But now, anyone that's in right now in our generation having kids, there's no fucking excuse. Like, I'm sorry, there's no, y'all know.
Chapter 81, Season 2, Uncensored.
fucks, dude.
All right,
I don't know. Tell the whole story.
This is what happened. So day
We chill on
one,
this podcast. We both chill.
yeah. So day one, I'm chilling. I wake up in the morning, and my boy hits me up with a question mark, and he said, "Yo, did you like change your name on Instagram?" I was like, "What the hell are you talking about? I didn't change my name on Instagram."
That's my third personality now.
I was like, right? I was like, I'm done. I don't need no more aliases and whatnot. So
Shit. This is now he's wifed up. What is Sergej, whatever the fuck name? What
it was a Barragara.
A Barragara.
Barragara. I was like, who the hell's Barragara?
That's Zain wifed up.
Right? And I was like, nah, let me check this. So I thought, somebody had, copied my account. I was going to have to shut it down. And then I looked, I'm like, wow, these pictures are just like mine. And I kept on scrolling down. I was like, oh! I was like, this is me! They took my account! So I hit up Instagram and whatnot. And I was like, tight. I was like, yo, you took my account. We gonna fight. So, I got my, I sent my stuff in day one. Nothing happened. Day two, they sent me an email saying, all you have to do is send a picture of yourself with the number written down on paper, which AKA was my mugshot. It looked like a mugshot. That's exactly what it looked like.
3 days later.
3 days later. So day three, nothing happened. At that point, I had to put a post on Instagram stating that y'all didn't do anything, so I had to hack.
Yeah, I feel like that was like
my
day 6
own.
though. I feel like you let it go for a little bit.
No, it was day 3, and then that was the day that I told everybody that I was gonna do something myself. So I had to hack my own account back.
So I wonder how you did that.
Day 4, I got it back. Let me tell you what happened. So I had to go all over Google, figuring out how to finesse my account back by doing this information, doing that, running through this, doing that. I'm just like, so you're telling me that Instagram is really that easy to hack? Now, I found out why. Because AOL ain't safe. So if you have AOL attached to your Instagram, it's a guaranteed you will have your Instagram hacked.
Wait, fam, you still have an AOL email?
Yes, I do have an AOL. I don't use it though. All right, don't come at my neck because I got
still
AOL.
has an AOL email.
That's right. I couldn't let it die.
Are you holding on hard?
I'm holding on hard.
Is there even an AOL.com anymore?
I think there is. No, it's still
Are
is.
you
They be
sure?
dropping newses and whatnot. Yeah, they have. Yeah, it's still around.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
check
hold
on your
I'm
phone.
I don't know if I believe all this.
Yeah. Check
Let's
on your
just
phone.
see. AOL.
There's an AOL account. So day 4, I got my account back.
Yeah, why they not popping though? Then they do. Why is their shit trash?
Because we don't have dial-up anymore, and we've moved on. With
No,
the
but
rest of our
I'm
lives.
just saying, like that shit pisses me off like Blockbuster. You know what I'm saying? Like, how did they drop the ball? You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, well, the second you kind of saw Netflix was coming.
No, you know what's funny? Did you hear that
tried.
story?
I know they tried.
Yeah, they tried. They said, hey, can we work with y'all? Netflix said this to Blockbuster. Blockbuster's like, fuck out of here. Nobody's going to do that. And then guess what happened? Netflix slowly blew up. Blockbuster disappeared. They had their chance. Honestly, low-key, I actually really want Blockbuster back.
Yeah, no, me too.
You know why? Because it was just the instead of being at home, it was just the act of going there and getting the video, like the DVDs. Maybe they could change their membership where you could pick it up and then bring it back and whatnot. I think that's a little better, more options and whatnot, instead of paying every single DVD that you get.
They need to spice it up. I don't want to give all the ideas here, Blockbuster.
Yeah,
if you're listening, because I got mad ideas I could unleash for you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do.
Because a lot of people miss it, and you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it's been 10 years now, and the fact that we missed you, like Toys R Us might make a comeback.
Nah.
You think they're done?
Nah, they done.
So nobody buying toys. I think they market it wrong.
Nah, they buying toys, but not at that price.
I think they market it wrong. I think they were just way too big. I think they should have just started off smaller and then created that demand, because they were so big. It's like no one was having that many kids anymore. What they should have done was start to shrink down their stores over time versus kind of make it bigger, or have like one superstore and keep the other stores small.
Well, they tried doing that. They tried doing all the little Toys R Us Expresses in the
Oh yeah, I remember that, but that was like a little petty way to do it because it was temporary. It wasn't like there the whole year. So
it was a tester.
It was a tester, and obviously they were like, oh, but KB Toys, I missed that one the best. They had the best toys, hands down.
I never been there.
Zayn always goes to all the weird shit.
I really
not
do.
even the weird shit, like just the most randomest spots. It'd be like his place, like the fire place. He's like, yeah, yo, give me $12 there every week.
Bro, I have some dope ass date spots. I have dope ass places to just check out in general, man. Because I just Google this stuff, and some of the stuff would be outlandish. Like, oh yeah, if you want to go on a date, why don't you go on a hike with your girlfriend and in the sunset? I'm like, where are y'all living?
Word.
We live in Jersey,
we don't
everybody.
have that shit.
I don't remember us, going to parks and doing that. Like, I mean, we have it, but you can't be doing that all the time. Like, how do you like stretch out a relationship? We'll be talking about that, later.
And you stretch out a relationship?
No, well, yeah. How you stretch out a relationship? Yeah, you just kind of gotta do new things,
like
but
sexually or like
you gotta.
Which way are we going? With
this is
Are
what
we
you
talking
gotta
about
do.
the dates, or are we talking about in the bedroom?
We're talking about the dates, and then you
then we'll do
sprinkle.
Chapter 65, Being Lonely.
They might be like, who are you?
Exactly. I would say it's better to kind of maybe go to Dave & Buster's one day, or go to play some video games, or go to the mall, walk around, be around people in general. You know what
people
I'm saying?
in general. That's
Just
key.
Just be around people. Go to New York City if you're close to the city. You know what I'm saying? I don't know where you are, but if it's a popular area with a lot of energy going on, I definitely would go there. Like New York City. Go to New York City. Watch people just do some weird tricks in the city. Times Square and whatnot. Like, just surround yourself with people, and then kind of branch out, and maybe somebody hit you up like, hey, how's it going? And then you kind of talk to them, and like, just go to different events.
Yeah, you have to definitely put yourself out there, man. And a lot of people don't do it because they
surround yourself around people. Don't go to Walmart. That's not gonna make you feel any less lonely than you are. just go Dave & Buster's.
Actually, you might feel good. You might, nah, never mind. I'm good at the crib.
I'm good at the crib. See, now you're just gonna revert right back to
back to being lonely.
But yeah, man. I mean, honestly, the definite there's so many options. One is surround yourself with people, and like Tay said, you just have to find people that kind of really motivate you, like just to find a good part of the day, and then the end point of the day. You gotta start your day. If you're gonna start a day where today I'm gonna go and meet somebody new and blah blah, then do that every day. Every day, meet somebody new and have a conversation with them. Force yourself out of it. It's not gonna just come easy at all.
It's not. And even if you don't want to, I just thought about this one. Even if you're not the type to, you're not gonna just jump up alone and go.
Chapter 78, Depression After Recovery.
But try to talk to your other people about doing it. If you have kids, pass it on to your kids, etc. Whatever.
It's just good energy to pass on, because I have a friend that used to do that to me, and I never really did it because I just kept it inside. And then eventually it came to a point where I started to do that. I said, you know what? I like that, what that looks on you. Or I like, oh, that shoes, really looks dope. Or I started to say it out more because in my household, my mom really didn't say too much, but she like, oh, I was thinking it, or blah, blah. But in you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you don't know.
I don't know.
And
so,
that happens a lot.
and I was like, I talk to you about you all the time to my, my coworkers and my students. But it's just like, I don't hear it. And it just makes me feel like I didn't accomplish anything, or I'm not doing anything right.
Yeah, just because you didn't hear it.
Just because I didn't hear it.
And it's the truth. I mean, how will you know if you don't hear it?
Exactly. So now I'm doing that. Instead of waiting on that, I was like, let me put that energy on myself, and maybe I'll get that back. And sometimes you just gotta lead by examples. But speaking about examples, what we got to talk about today, Joe?
Today,
the depression revolves around drugs, but I know I had a different type of. The thing is, I never called it depression because I always thought of it, always like associated with something super, super negative. Like, people do get depressed. It's like I didn't accept it. You know what I'm saying? So there'd be times where instead of saying, I would ignore the fact that was going on in my life. So I kind of ignored a lot of stuff that I should have kind of sat down and talked about. And now that I'm thinking about it, there'll be times where no drugs related, but I would be depressed and I'd feel some type of way, and I would isolate myself from people. So for me to get out of that, I used to drown myself in video games. Yeah. And then those games had, obviously you beat a mission, there was an achievement, and it just made you feel better. So that's kind of how I dealt with it over time, was those little achievements, little trinkets that you win in the game.
Yeah, little small goals.
Little small goals made me feel better. And I used to just constantly, I did that so much that I was isolated from society. I isolated myself from society by by isolating myself away within another world that wasn't real.
Yeah, exactly. I know what you mean. And also, you try to get your mind off of that shit. You try to get your mind off of the things. I've done that too. They're great. You know what I mean? But some people it might affect them. Just being in that same environment, being in that same atmosphere. Maybe you just have to make some different changes, some different lifestyle changes.
Yeah,
you know
and especially with friends-wise too. But the people you surround yourself with, if you know that they're in that, please avoid them. That's what I'm saying to you. If you're listening, if you're in the environment and you're trying to get out of it, avoid friends or people that are still in that. If you are trying to rid yourself from that issue, just altogether, cold turkey, move yourself from that surrounding. It only makes you better.
Yeah, they're gonna get out of here.
No, seriously, it's honestly just gonna help you out. Cause I know it's all I don't want to leave my friends and blah. That's all well and good, but I'm just letting you know that if you're trying to, you need to give yourself a lot more time. And if they don't understand that, then they're not really your friends.
They're not really friends. They're not really family. Also, with that, with the whole, that you're now, recovered, just remember that you can never go back to that lifestyle.
Chapter 95, Get Up 10.
Oh, that's not happening yet.
It's not happening, but at least about that. How many years? What we at? 6?
5.
5?
Nice.
So I'm about to
years
go on to 6.
For your brand, yeah.
Yep, 5 years I've been working.
And give a little shout out to Zain Studios, man.
Yeah, shout out to Zain. He's such a dope dude. He's awesome. Let me tell you, I wish I could be as cool as him though.
Yeah, because he's Phil.
Yeah,
Phil. It's 2 different people.
No, yeah, it's definitely 2 different people. But yeah, I've been doing it for like 5 years. When I started, when I first started, I was like, my friend's like, why don't you just start a magazine? I was like, what? I'm thinking like Vogue. I'm thinking like all the top magazines or whatnot. And then you're like, I'll try and see what I can do. And like after the 3rd month, I was about to quit. I was about to call it a day. And then one friend was like, hit me up. He's like, yo, I can't wait for the next issue. I'm like, no! I've got too far.
You held me accountable.
Right? I'm accountable for this. And then 5 years later, and like, yeah, I'm still here. And I've had like through major parties like year 2. And then
this guy was thought on a lot.
Yeah, I really was. And then it was just a lot of good things happened. Then I had to slow down. Then I had to revamp and do a lot of stuff. But this year, I'm having a party in January, and I'm doing like a 5-year anniversary. Now I skipped the 4th year, but I was like, definitely I do 5 years because I was just like, I made it this far.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you definitely invited. Everybody's invited. Marv's invited.
We in there.
Nat, what about yourself?
Chapter 83, Just Do It.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder, man. Like when people do it, people don't understand. Like, I guess what I do and what you do is like it's considered technically a luxury. Like, people look at us like, oh my God, you do this, you do that, and whatnot. And it scares me because they think that the only thing they can do is just go to work, make money, pay the bills, and then it's like they're looking out the window on like fun stuff happening, like around them, and it's like that's miserable. So people, they have this locked life where they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna go to work 5 days a week. I'm gonna be off on the weekends, party, drink on a Friday or a Saturday night, then rest and sober up on Sunday, and then dread going to work on Monday, and then do it again the following weekend.
Word.
In reality, you could do what you need to do within the weekday. It's time
100%.
management. It's just time management. That's it. If you work 8 hours a day, all right, when you get home, what can you do to achieve your dreams? All you need is like an hour or 2 hours a day. That's it. People are jumping on Lyft and doing this and that to drive. That means you're putting in time to do stuff, right? So that means if you're putting in time for that money, see, it's because people see the money. That's why they wanna do it. But if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a lot harder to do like what we do because you really have to have that vision.
Exactly.
You know, even shit like you with Tay, like yo, you had Zain. I think you be calling yourself an introvert time to time, right?
No, I am still an introvert.
You're still okay.
But me, that Zain persona is an extrovert.
So he's a little bit of both.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of both, but I started off as an introvert because I didn't like to deal with people, just as a whole.
People in general, right?
Just people in general. I just don't like to be around people. But the extrovert is the one that makes the money. So unless I'm allergic to money, I have no problem being an extrovert.
So what gets you, because you're the type of person that you just execute. You know what I mean? Like, you have an idea and you do it. So what do you think helps you to get to that?
Honestly,
what helps you bring the idea? Because like I said, we all have ideas. A lot of people have ideas. But what makes you actually go through with it? Like with the movie, what made you, like, you had the idea and like now into the game? Is it just like you're just so used to it, just, executing and getting shit done? Like, maybe bring me back to something.
Honestly, that's how I was raised. Honestly, like
with everything.
With everything, like that's honestly just how I was raised. Come to think of it,
like how?
So I had to earn it. Like whatever I did, like I was the only child. People say, "Oh, you get spoiled. You're the only child." Absolutely not. Not in my house. So like anything that I wanted to do, anything that I wanted, my mom would make me work for it. It didn't matter what it was. Oh, you want this? You got to have your grades at this. And once you have your grades at this, then you can get it. If not, you are not getting it. There was no way of getting. There was no, oh, mommy, this, or crying. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She was like a steel wall. Absolutely nothing went through. So what I had to do was I just had to do it. If I wanted
it. You just had to execute.
I had to execute. That's how I was trained. That's how I felt like I was. I felt like raised. I felt like I was trained. Like, you want this, do this. And that's how I was, I thought about it. This is what I want. So I have to do X, Y, and Z to get it. So I do X, Y, and Z, and I get it. And that's it.
But what about an idea? Because a creation is not something you have to do.
I was very creative as a kid because I like to draw. And my imagination just was always in my brain. So it wasn't until later I was like, wait, I could just make...
Let me see your phone.
Oh, you want to see my phone?
Yeah, open it, camera. That's what I'm phone. My phone sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah. What about like the creation? How does that?
Yeah, honestly, I just think of all the things that I wanted to do, but as I got older, I instead of finding someone else to do it, I just do it myself. So I never, since I was like the only child, I never really waited or relied on anybody. I was like a loner, so I just figured it out and just worked from there. I used to like make toys for myself. I mean, I had like legit toys like Transformers and all that, but I like made my own toys because I'm like, oh, I want this character to do this. So I would just like get like different materials and stuff like that, mostly metal, and twine them together and find it like bendable and whatnot. And then I just made a character from that. And then ever since then, I was like always hands on. So it wasn't until like later on, like I started to do more digital stuff. And that was when I was like 15 in high school. Yeah. Because I used to draw too. That's how I started. I used to draw stuff and get it out of my head. And I drew my own characters. And that's pretty much how it started, really. But I had to work for it. Like if I knew I sucked at drawing in the beginning, but I got better kept on practicing. I didn't stop like, oh, okay, I didn't do it right. I'm going to do it better again. I just kept on doing it and doing it and doing it until I got better. And then that was it. Some people just don't do it and they just quit. I was like, I was angry when I failed. Some people just quit when they fail. I was angry when I failed and I kept on doing it until that anger eventually faded out.
Why do you think you're angry?
It was kind of probably how I was raised. It was like there was always negative sanctions. There was no really positive, oh, good job. It was like if you did it wrong, you were called out for it, and that was it. There was no, you did a good job, and that was it. There was always, I got called out for doing bad stuff. So rejection was a major thing, and that kind of filtered out as I got older. But then I had to kind of take that stuff out because it wasn't doing good, especially not in the dating world. Like if a girl didn't want to talk to me, I'm like, well, F you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it just felt like I was a little peon, and I didn't amount to anything when I was rejected. But in reality, like, they could have been missing out on you, and I never saw that picture.
Yeah, you never saw that they're missing out on that greatness.
Nope, never saw that.
So you think in hindsight, if you look back, you just kept going because you were striving for that greatness?
Honestly, I wasn't even thinking about greatness. I wasn't thinking about greatness. I was thinking more so about just doing. I'm always just moving forward. Honestly, I'm not even thinking about being the greatest one. I'm just practicing, and I'm just moving forward. I never look back, and it just by a byproduct of me doing that, it just makes my work better, and that's only a byproduct because I'm just moving forward and not looking back, and just getting. I'm pretty much one-upping myself.
Just by keep going.
I just monitor like, oh, last year, that's whack. I gotta do better. I'm fighting against myself. That's pretty much why people are seeing a drastic change. They're like, oh, last year I didn't like last year, and then that was it.
So, what could you?
Chapter 98. What is success?
Overall success, right? Let me see.
Yeah, of course. Here you go.
I like to,
Yeah, I mean,
to visualize.
honestly, success for me mostly is I used to think of it in regards to having money, a lot of money.
That's what it is. Money. It goes talk about success. What is success? Is having money success, or large home, fast cars, or is success being able to just be yourself no matter what? And what are all of our views?
Yeah, it's different for everyone. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to wealth. Like, I like to live within my means, but it's what you value. Because I think of time and happiness as a currency. You know what I'm saying? So that plays a major factor in how you live your life. Because you could have all the money in the world, but then your happiness currency is super low. Yeah. Might be in the negative. And then you could have time. You might be wasting your time. It's in the negative. You know what I'm saying? So you could be in debt in time, and you could be in debt with happiness. You know, but I like to kind of put things in like, what do I do in my life to invest and have these grow? So I go to the movies. That builds up my happiness. In terms of time, I try to spend it with family and whatnot, because that's just gonna run out. Time, you know, not everyone lives forever. You know what I'm saying? Movies could, you know, stay forever, but your family doesn't. So I kind of like balance those two out. That's for me. I think I'm successful not because of the business, is because I didn't stop believing in myself. That's why I think it's successful. Also, like the stuff that I did from the age of 18, matter of fact 16, writing books now, shooting film and taking pictures of models and all that. Like, I never thought I was going to do that, but I believed in myself, and I think that's successful.
For sure.
Word.
Absolutely.
I love that too, because you really took the happiness part out of my mouth. That's what I
like. Oh, I was thinking so like, oh, you know, I don't have this and blah blah. I like, how am I going to get? Put our goals visually so you could see it, and then let's find a way little by little to get to that point, and let's plan in reverse. And eventually I saved up enough money that I was able to go to LA, and it was the best experience ever. And I went by myself. Awesome. And that was a whole adventure, which is an older podcast. So what? Yeah, it was documented. It was a wild adventure, but it was great. So I advise everybody to do that.
Word. And what else was on the doc? We're not going to cover too much more, but we have, I think.
Delaney, he said money eases your financial burden, so does in fact, quote unquote, equal happiness, but to a certain extent. And he was saying that there's a study conducted saying that happiness actually does increase with wealth, but only up until something like 75K.
Yeah, no, and I understand why that makes sense. Yeah. Because if you look at a lot of happiness studies, you see it's like, again, we talk about access. You're gaining certain access. So if you have like...
Chapter 33. I am Zain. His first appearance.
Since it's been so many years.
Drum roll. Yeah, for real. Mr. Philip.
Hey, a.k.a. Zain.
Zain in the building.
Yep.
All right. Yo, first of all, before I forget, I love that meme that you made.
Which one?
When you see who Zain is, or
oh yeah, you see who Zain is, and they always do this every single time I see him for the first time. They don't know who I look like. I'm either white, Arabic, or
That's what they
white.
think?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. So when they see me in person, they're like, "Oh," and it's
Yeah,
like,
what's
"Where's
up with
Zain?" They're like, "I know you're Phil, but where's Zain?" I was like, "I'm both actually." So what's your real name? I'm like, "Well, see, Zain is my alias." So that's pretty much how that goes.
All right, now, what I want to know is where the name come from.
Name? All right. The thing about the name is so funny. It came from a video game. I don't know if you guys played the game Mega Man Zero or Mega Man Extreme for the Game Boy Color.
I know Mega Man. I don't know anybody else though.
Yeah, it's Mega Man Extreme is pretty much like the adult version of Mega Man, and there was a secret boss. His name was Zain, and I just took his name after I beat him, and that was it. I had that account like ZZane1 at AOL. That was my account. 1999.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing it back.
Yeah, that was old school. I mean, it was opposed to Zell Pikachu,
Hey, that's my shit. Yeah, I know about that shit. I haven't played in years.
Word.
So that's how you got the name.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I got it.
Before you started fucking with like what you do now, though.
Yeah.
Did you still was it used in?
I tagged it in every graphic design because I just loved the name so much, and then eventually my friends started calling me Zain, so I was like, I guess I'm Zain now. So I know I'm not gonna drop a name. You could drop that out. He called me Zain like every single day in Bergen, so I was like, I guess that's my name.
Yeah, rocking with it, yo. It's dope too because it's mad different.
It's stuck though. It's stuck.
That's what's up, man. I like your style.
Right. So then, how I Am Zain came into play was people ask who is Zain all the time. So I was just like, I am Zain, and that was it.
I like that. That's clever.
That's hard. It's something that's always. Just
Are you still doing those shirts like the all black with the line?
I was doing it, and I stopped it for the first year because merch was getting expensive. So then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wait a few years. I'm gonna do it again, and I'm gonna do it the right way, business wise. Because it was just like I had no idea what I was doing in the beginning. Yeah. So I was like, now I have a better business understanding. It'll be a little better.
That's what's up.
Sign me up. I like that shit.
Oh, word, definitely.
The black with the red and the line, the
that
white
was
lines.
selling out quick.
And that's a wrap for chapter 115, The Best of Zain. Happy birthday to I Am Zain magazine, Philip Diaz. If you're listening to this and you have not wished him a happy birthday, make sure you go hit him up. It's at I Am Zain magazine or at I Am Zain Studios on Instagram. Hit him up. His birthday was May 31st. So that's it. Positive vibes, positive vibes. All right, everybody, remember, check up on your strong friend. We're not going to do a shout out for this week because this is just a very special episode. It's a little bit differently. All right, make sure you go get your free audiobook from audibletrial.com/therapywithoutadegree. Mark your calendars for the Entrepreneur Workshop, okay, June 28th. Make sure you go get your tickets. It's going to be on the therapywithoutadegree.com website coming soon. If not, you can go right on the Eventbrite, okay, eventbrite.com, and search for us, Therapy Without a Degree, and it's all right there, okay? If you guys have any topics for the show, you guys already know you could submit them. And that's it, guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We out. Peace.